Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Izzy Biscus. I'm really glad you're here. This is going to be a little bit of a different vlog. I am sitting down with y'all and talking everything master program. Talk about the fashion program I'm about to do and when I'm moving to London to do this program. I'm going to reiterate something, so I'm going to talk about how I got accepted in this program, why I chose this program, that whole entire process I have talked about before already, but there may be some new people here and you don't know my story and you are curious and you're like, well, you know what, I'm actually thinking about doing that. I want to hear more about how you did so it can inspire me to do my own journey. I'm also here to talk about the student visa, which is so annoying. If I had a pill in front of me, I could seriously put my face in it and scream, because this student visa process is so annoying, so time-stakingly painful. It's not even funny. But I am here because if you're watching this and you're thinking about doing a master program, moving to a place, and you are going through the process of having to apply for a student visa, I'm here to help you through it. So let's get started. I have a few questions I'm going to go over. I asked the community on what questions you want me to cover first before I start diving in. So the first question I have here is, what am I studying? I am studying fashion entrepreneurship through the Condé Nast College of Fashion, which is located in London, England. This is a dream thing for me. Sometimes I have to remind myself that, Izzy, like, you're doing this. You are moving to London for a fashion program, which is what you've always wanted to do and what you've always dreamt of, and you're doing it. You got accepted into the program, you worked really hard for it, and now here we are. In a few weeks I will be moving to London, which I will be taking you along with me, and I cannot wait for that journey to start on my vlog channel. So, second, will your master's degree be based just in London or will you be traveling? I don't know this answer yet because I think we'll figure it out by orientation. Once orientation rolls around and a few weeks maybe go by in the program, I can maybe get a feel about how difficult, but this is the kickstart of me starting my own business in the fashion industry. So with that being said, I am super passionate about this. People watching this who have been watching my channel, and I did a study abroad in London a few months ago for my undergrad degree at UGA. I think that is a little bit different because I did that study abroad program for fun, and the classes I took were literally British youth culture and architecture of London. Like, they were elective classes that aren't in my field. So what I would say with that, I want to travel. I love traveling. I hope to travel a lot when I can, but my main focus is this school and my career. This will technically be kick launching a career, and I'm going to work super hard for that. I'm very, very, very passionate about what I want out of this, and this is basically just like the first year of my life starting and exactly what I want to be doing in the career I want to be doing in the business I am going to be creating and working on. That will be my main focus. So traveling, yes, I still have that. It's like it's a fine line because I'm 23, so I just turned 23 years old. I want to live my life. I want to have fun. I want to make memories, the memories that you can only make when you're 23. And traveling is probably a lot of that, but my main focus will be my master's degree because I am very passionate about this. That's my field I'm going to be going in, and I'm going to give it my all when I'm in this program just to get the most out of it, so then I am better prepared when I go into the fashion world in London. And so that leads up to, how long are you going to be in London? That's the next question I have here, but we'll go technical. Technically, I have this master program is a year long. It is a full-time program, so it is September to September, and you have a few breaks in between, like spring break, you have a winter break. Next summer I don't think I have a break though, maybe like a week out of the summer, but I will be full-time doing this master program. And then after that, so if you get a master's in London or England, I think, wherever it is, you get a 2-year work visa after. So that is honestly pretty much what launched me to look into master programs in London first. but besides the London fashion industry, because it's top of the world, besides that, you get a 2-year work visa. So you can stay in London after in a job. That is what I plan to do too. Yes, I do want to start my own business and I want to do that, but I also need experience. And I would love to involve myself underneath someone who I am just so inspired from. Why not learn from people who are higher up than you and who have that much knowledge and that much experience in the fashion industry? I think it's the best way to get involved. So hopefully I'm going to be in London for 3 years minimum. After that, I am not going to say because I have no idea. And 3 years is a long time. It's a long time from now. A lot can happen. A lot can change. I could meet people. Who knows? I might not even use the 3 years, but I want to right now. If I had to say, I would be there right now. Do you have a plan once you have your master's? And that is exactly what I just told y'all. I plan on starting my own business. And when that business starts, I want to start another business. I want to be a multi-entrepreneur, but I definitely have a passion for the fashion industry. So I'll be kickstarting a business regarding the fashion design industry, all that stuff. I'm actually looking at a mood board I have right here of one of the brands I wanted to start. I will not show you because I don't really show anyone, but it's beautiful. There's packaging, design, colors, font, like everything. That was like a whole 1.5 year long process to build this whole thing, and it's still building. This is actually what I'm going to be starting to build first, is this brand. But this brand's also going to lead into another brand, which I have an idea for. So I have a lot of ideas, and I have a lot of like, oh my gosh, I need to do this, I need to do this, and I have a lot of confidence and a lot of belief in myself. I have a lot of belief that I will fail, which is fine, which is what you're supposed to do. A lot of belief that I'm going to push through and keep going. So more to come on that. The last question, what career opportunities will your master's give you? So it's basically around the same area. Hopefully I'm going to be able to network a lot in the fashion industry in London, which is super exciting because I would love any opportunity. That is just amazing, and seriously a complete dream of mine that I have been always wanting to do. The fact that I'm moving there for a master program in about, I would say 3.5 weeks from today, that is insane. And I haven't started packing. For my other study abroad program that was literally only, I think it was only 3 to 4 months. I started packing a month before because I was so nervous. But now that I'm going for a year, I haven't started packing and I'm leaving in like 3.5 weeks. It's just gonna be a lot of throwing pretty much half my closet in suitcases and then just going. So I'm not too worried about it. And my mom's here, she's so good at packing. So I just wait for her because I use my resources that I have. Those are some of the questions I wanted to get out of the way. Well, I always want to take into account my outfit when I'm filming. So this new necklace I got from Etsy. It is so cute. I love it. It has my little initial on it. This jacket I got from a thrifting spot in London. It is a vintage old designer jacket. Amazing. I loved it. I tried it on and I just told the girl right then and there, I was like, I'm buying it. And she was just like, it looks so good on you. And I know they all say that, but like, I think it's so cute. If you go back and watch my vlogs, when I went to Paris for the day, this is what I wore. And then I have like a little tank top and then these shorts. They're like little pleated mini shorts, if you can see. So for the process, I started when I went to London to study abroad the first 3-4 months. I pretty much knew I wanted to move back here right away. I loved it. I'm not kidding you. I fell in love so hard with London and I was like, how can I move back here? What are my options? What can I do to get back here? So I started looking into master programs. I started talking to people. They said that they did a master program which gave them the 2-year work residency after. And in London, they have amazing master programs. You can find exactly what you want to do. Got my application together. It took me like a full day because I was so nervous and I wanted everything to be perfect. I had to get like all my experience out. I had to word it right. Journalism major here, so I was like proofreading it 5 times through, making sure my statement was exactly who I am on my brand, it was just a lot. A week later, I heard back that they wanted to interview me. So I was so excited. I planned the interview. A few weeks later, I did the interview, and the interview went so great that I got offered a spot right away. I got on the phone and I was just so proud of myself and so happy that I started crying, and then I called my mom. I got a spot in the program. She started crying on the other end of the phone, and it was just like a big cry fest, which is great. Told her, called my dad, called everybody that like I'm really close with to tell them, and the whole time I was like, you have to, all my friends, no, you have to come visit me, I'm gonna be in London, you have to fly out. And they're like, oh my gosh, of course, like we'll come stay with you. So if you're thinking about applying or you're in the application, congratulations that you got into the master program, first of all, because that is a huge deal. And here's to new exciting adventures that we're about to have. I'm so excited. We're gonna meet so many different kinds of people. Very, 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 very happy to be back in London because I just love London. I love London. Go drink some tea and go have some afternoon tea with some friends. I'm so bad at a British accent, but hopefully I'll be better. First of all, you had to put a deposit down, and then they're like, okay, we will reach out to you around summertime, since your program starts around September, October, with your CAS. And I'm like, okay, cool. What's a CAS? I mean, I'm learning all this stuff as I'm going through the process. It's technically confirming that you got a spot in the program, but the school applies for it for your individual self. So they give you a CAS sheet with a UK number that they have gotten. They've sent it to the UK, so they got it back. And so there's a few details, like how long the program is, how long you're being sponsored for, blah, 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 all that stuff. So that is what a CAS is. Now, it's not that simple because, so for instance, for me, in my situation, I came back from study abroad and I had to get my transcripts and my final degree processed to be able to apply for this CAS. I was in contact with my homeschool and my study abroad school to get my transcripts sent to my homeschool for my homeschool to process it and confirm my degree that I actually graduated from my undergraduate. That whole process was so crazy and so time consuming, and I think I was on the phone for like 3 hours a day trying to hurry people along. People did not like me. I was a very nice person and I was respectful as much, but I was annoying. I was like, hi, like, is there any update? Is there any update? Is there any update? Can I please get you that? Like, please, please, please. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh my gosh. Finally, it took maybe a month and a half to get this degree confirmed. My school had not sent out the CAS application yet, which I needed my degree for. So I was kind of saved. I was like, okay, I got my degree confirmed. The president of UGA confirmed my degree, rush processed it for me. So nice of them, and UGA was great. So great at being attentive and helping me out with this. Now, my study abroad program, they struggled a little bit, and it was really hard to get a hold of people. Some people working from home, and then I'd call the main line, and then they give me a number to call. So I called that one, and then that person just didn't pick up, and then I'd email that person saying, hi, I just tried to call you, and then I'd try to call again. I was annoying. Like, seriously, I wanted something and I was going after it. Finally, they started answering and they knew how serious I was. So all in all, I got my transcript from study abroad sent to my homeschool. They were able to rush it and authorize it and finally send in my degree early. My new school in London sent out the application for the CAS. I like double checked everything so much because like I don't have time to mess up and they have to wait another 3 weeks because I'm moving in a month early than when my program starts too. Like that is when my flat lease starts, so I don't have time. I entered all my information for the application, like passport number, just so many details. If you're applying for a master program and applying for this student visa, just make sure you're responsible and you're organized. That's the best advice I could give you, because if you're not organized, oh my gosh, I'm actually gonna go grab my papers and show you how much I organize them. But I'm a type A person and that's how I am. I love organization. I have a calendar on my phone, it's all color coded. I have reminders 30 minutes before, an hour before, 2 days before. I set like 5 alarms in the morning to make sure I wake up at 8 o'clock. So I'll like set one for like 7:40, 7:45, 7:50, 7:55, and then 8. Just to make sure I get out of bed at 8 every morning because to have a day. I am really weird on that. Super weird. But sometimes I relax and sometimes I only set like 3 alarms or 2 alarms, which is good. I don't think I need to work on it though. I think it's good for me. But anyways, total sidetrack. I applied for the CAS, okay? It takes 3 to 5, I think I lied. I don't think it takes, I think that's a different process. See, I get them confused. I think it takes 5 to 11 working days to get the CAS back from your college. So that 11 days comes up. I don't get an email of the CAS. The next day goes by, 12 days. I don't get an email of my CAS. This is not gonna work. You said, like, I'm so on time too. Like, if you're late, that's a problem for me. Like, that annoys, that's a pet peeve of mine. If someone says they're gonna be there at 6, I get there at 5:45. Because if you're not early, you're late. And that has been seeded into my mind by my father. But I'm not just waiting around. Granted, after 5 days, I sent a email to just check up. Hi, like, is there any information on the process? Is there any, you know, can I help in any way? I don't get an email response. And I'm like, okay, that's a little strange, because usually they'll email back and just say, hey, we got your email, that we will get back to you as soon as possible, you know, so no email response. So I'm like, okay. So a few days go by, I send another email on top of that. Like, I wait 4 days. I'm not sending email every day. And I'm like, hi, like, I just wanted to follow through again. I didn't get an email response, like no email response at all. I'm just wanting to hear back to make sure the CAS process is going. I'm kind of on a tight schedule, whatever. And so don't get a response. And I'm like, what in the world? And I try calling every day once, and my phone's just not going through. I get my dad's phone. His is like international, still not going through. So I'm like, what is going on? So I email the CEO that interviewed me. And I was like, hi, I don't mean to be rude. I'm sorry I had to do this, but I just am not getting any response on my CAS. And so that did some action. He said, I'm so sorry. I will make sure they respond to you this day or by tomorrow. Like, it was great. And then finally I heard back from everyone. They're saying, sorry, we are just like really busy right now. And I was like, no, I understand, but I get my CAS. Finally, I have my CAS. And I get it, and I'm so excited, and my mom's like, you're done? I'm like, I haven't even started applying for my student visa. Like, I needed the degree to apply for the CAS, and I need the CAS to apply for the student visa. I mean, everyone knows in this household by this point to not ask me about the student visa, because I'm doing everything in my willpower to get this done as fast as possible to make my mom and I's flight. And so it stresses me out. And whenever they ask me, I'm like, I don't want to talk about it, because I've been dealing with it. I don't want to talk about it. I promise you, I'm responsible. I'll handle it. And they know that too. So they're like, okay, so they don't ask. I don't want to do all this and then have to sit down and explain it for like 30 minutes. That's not what I want to do. It's stressful, okay? If you're applying for this and you're watching this and you're like, yeah, I can relate to that. I understand. So we have the CAS, okay? We go on the uk.gov website and we pull up the student visa tab. We look at all the requirements, make sure that you have all the documents they are going to need, and you start applying. So the process took me maybe about 1 to 2 hours. Not that bad, just because it took me that long because I needed to double check everything, because I'm like, I'm not going to submit the student visa and have something wrong and then delay it that much time. So I send in the first half of my student visa. You have to schedule a biometrics appointment, which means that you take a picture for your student visa, but you have to go to this official place. So they take your picture, you do fingerprints, all that stuff, and then they finally submit all of that information and everything else to the UK government. So they send it to the UK, they have all your information now, and now it is just a waiting game on when you get your visa back. So this is the full student visa, you're waiting on it to come back. Let's talk a little bit more about the biometrics appointment, because this is where it gets confusing. This is where I got confused, and I asked all my friends, I'm like, okay, so what happens here? Like, when I go here, does this happen? What is a biometrics appointment? So it has mandatory action. So after you have submitted your part on the student visa, it gives you a documents checklist. So you download the documents checklist, you have to bring it to your biometrics appointment, and pretty much what this document shows, what category your visa is, which is I'm a student visa, your payment notification number, because you have to pay for applying, the total fee, application date, when you applied, your name, birth date, country of birth, nationality, passport number, contact telephone number, email, submitted date. All this information is on that one checklist, and then you bring it with you to the biometrics appointment. And then also you have to get a tuberculosis test if it's required in your country. The United States, it's not required, but other countries you definitely need to double check. And then make arrangements to provide your documents and biometrics. So you bring all these documents from your application that you have just submitted at home, and you go to the biometrics appointment. What stinks about the biometrics appointment is that sometimes it's super hard to get an appointment. And especially if you're on a time crunch, that is just not okay. My flight is August 14th. And then when I was applying for this biometrics appointment, the earliest they had was July 28th. And today it's July 19th. I was like, I cannot wait until July 28th. Because then, once you do the biometrics appointment and you send off your passport, everything to the UK, it takes about 3 to 6 weeks to get that back. So if you do the math, I would not make my flight. There's no way. I don't know if the biometrics is the same in every state here in the United States, but you cannot get a hold of them. I'm telling you, it is so impossible. There's one like customer service email. I emailed them like maybe a week and a half ago, and I still have never gotten a response from them. And then they don't even have a phone number. So there's no phone number to call. There's no phone number on the website. Trust me, I have done my digging. As a journalism major, your teachers would never give you any information. They literally say, figure it out yourself. You're a detective. You have to ask around. You have to find the right resources. So I had the most brilliant idea. I was like, you know what? I'm going to do some research on walk-ins and see if they take walk-ins. So I started reading up on that, and again, it was so hard to find just the Atlanta one because there's some in like Boston, LA, and so I had to find the VFS Global Atlanta biometrics place. So I looked it up and found that Atlanta, they take walk-ins starting at 8:30. The place doesn't technically open till 9:30 when appointments start. There's my ticket. I'm going Monday. This was Friday. I figured this out. Monday rolls around. I wake up crack of dawn and I drive to Atlanta early. I get to the place at like 8:20 and I go to the front desk and they're like, hi, how can I help you? And I explain my situation. I'm like, I have a biometrics appointment. I've already filled all the forms out. I have them all here with me, color-coded, all organized and ready to go. But I'm trying to see if I can get a walk-in. She's like, okay, wait over here. There's other people waiting as well. So I look over and there's like 4 other girls with their mom. And I'm like, oh, like this might not work because they only take a few. The girl at the front desk calls us. She's like, okay, everyone waiting for the VFS and who's doing walk-ins, come on this way. So they like swiped a key card so we can get through the gate. And then she's like, go through the elevator, 2nd floor, and suite 225. So we're all like packing in this elevator. We walk into VFS, figure out there's a France one and then there's a UK one. All of them, except for one other girl, went to the France one. And they were all waiting for the France. And then one girl with me came to the UK. So I'm like, okay, I have a chance, I'm good. So the girl in the UK, she sort of forgot to do this one step, so if that's what they were doing, they had to do it. So the girl was like, well, I can help you. And I'm like, do you have an appointment? I'm like, no, well, yes, I do have an appointment. It's July 28th, but I'm just on a time crunch. And so she was like, okay, well, I can't promise you that I can make your flight, but we can go ahead and get that process and do your whole biometrics appointment today. Oh my gosh, like thank goodness. Perfect, like thank you so much. I gave her all the forms I needed to bring. It will show you on your email. So if you're like, I don't know what forms to bring, look it up. It will show it on your email. It will tell you everything you need to bring. And if all else fails, bring your computer with you just in case. And also print out all the forms just in case. She asked me back into the room. I scanned my fingertips, I took a picture, and then she got it processed for me. So I did pay for a little bit more of a premium package to have a text message update. So after the whole appointment was done, I got a text saying the visa application for GWF reference number, blah blah blah, my reference number, was forwarded to UK Visas and Immigration on July 18th, 2022. Perfect, I have a confirmation there. I also got an email later that night saying the same thing and confirming it. And now it's just a waiting game. So I didn't have to send my passport to them. And she was like, I can just go ahead and scan your passport. You don't need to actually send your passport in, which I've heard from other people that they had to, which is strange. I don't know why I didn't have to. It might have been that it's a premium location, Atlanta. I have no idea. Didn't ask questions because I was fine with that. but she said that it'll take 3 to 6 weeks for the UK to make a decision and for them to receive my visa back. And then once that happens, you can either send it to your address and mailed to you, or you could come pick it up. I'm definitely going to come pick it up because she's like, it might save you a couple days, especially if it's a weekend. Postal services won't run like Friday as fast, and you'd have to wait till Monday to receive it through mail. But if it comes on a Friday and I give you a call and you're like in town and you can come drive up and pick it up, you can come get it that Friday. So I was like, perfect, I'm gonna do that. Don't send it to me, I will come pick it up. I think if you get it back through mail, you might have had to send your passport there, because she said you need to have your passport when you come pick it up and it has to be you. Now it's just a waiting game. It should take 3 to 6 weeks and hopefully 3 weeks, because if it takes 3 to 4 weeks, I am safe. I'm good to go. I can board my flight. I'll be ready to go to London. But if not, then I'm gonna have to reschedule my flight. And I don't think we paid for like a refund or credit or something. So we'll just have to see what happens. Hopefully by luck, pure luck, it's just gonna come back within 3 to 4 weeks. I asked, is there any way to fast track this? And she said, sadly, no. The UK stopped fast tracking on student visas, but only visitor visas can be fast tracked and pay for the premium package. So I was like, oh shucks, okay. She's like, I'm sorry, there's nothing, we can't do anything about that. I was like, that's totally fine. You're helping me right now. I'm ahead of the schedule, ahead of my appointment, so I don't have to go in July 28th anymore. I did it yesterday. That is the whole story on the visa application, and I'm not even done with it. That is my master program and the student visa in a tight little vlog. Besides the visa, I can't wait to do a flat tour. I'm so excited for y'all to see the flat. Can't wait to get there and decorate my room and make it a cozy little safe haven. That is like one of my favorite things to do, is designing. Well, of course, like fashion designing, like that whole thing. But designing my own room and making it exactly me. Follow along on my vlogs because there is so much more to come. I am bringing y'all fully with me throughout this whole experience. And I post every Thursday. Hopefully by the time I get back to London, I can go back to Tuesdays and Thursday. But Thursdays are my promise to you. Like and subscribe. Mostly subscribe. Please subscribe to the channel. That would be so greatly appreciated. And especially if you're doing a master program in London or you're thinking about a master program, definitely subscribe, because my life and my brand on this vlog will be me in London for a master program, living in my 23-year-old self. If that sounds like you and that's exactly what you want to do in the future, if you're watching this, you're a little bit younger, go ahead and subscribe, live through me, get some inspiration through it, because you can do it too. And just believe in yourself. Follow along on my Instagram, my Pinterest. I love creating, and hopefully that stuff can inspire you too. And thanks so much for sticking around. Love y'all. Bye.